Canada Life Premier League's form side Corinthians can move to within a point of leaders St Mary's. If they beat them this weekend, they travel to the Bowl having won 6 consecutive games, make it 7. They'll be a point behind St Mary's. And if Russians suffer a shock defeat as well, they'll be 1 point off the top of the table. So Tony Mepham, Manx Radio's football correspondent, joins us in the studio live now. Tony, obviously there is a lot of football still to be played, very, very early doors still in the season, but does the winner of this match automatically become favourites to go on and lift the trophy?
I don't know, it's a tough one to answer that one really, because if St Mary's won it, I would say possibly yes, purely because they're already the champions from last year. They know what work has to go into do it. But as I've said to you before, Corinthians at the moment are on this great run. They're looking good. The players have really stepped up. Training's been hard, and they've accommodated that. And when you look at recent results against 3 of the top 5, 6, if you like, that's Russian, Laxey and Peel. It puts them in good hopes to try and get something out of this game. Steve Whitley's been playing really well, Conor Gorman as well in midfield. I think Cameron Lee's probably been the mainstay at the back, keeping things all tight, whoever is alongside him, Tom Smith or Ryan Burns. And defensively with Matthew Quirk there, it's looked really good. And then also midfield, Fraser Vaughan playing well and Sean Doyle up front. It bodes well, but St Mary's, you've only got to look at the players that are there, Ireland players, people like Alex Harrison. You've also got Frank Jones. You've got Jack McVeigh, who's been scoring plenty of goals of late. Then St Mary's are strong right the way through. And to me, Chris, it's going to be on the day. Whoever plays the best, I think, will get the victory. And both sides are set up for it.
We mentioned last week how there were some people out there who have question marks surrounding Corinthians' ability to do the business in the big matches. But let's look at some of the teams who they've beaten in recent weeks. Their last 3 outings, Russian, Peel and Laxey. Peel had a stuttering start, I think you could say, to the Canada Life Premier League campaign, but Laxey have had a fantastic start. Russian have had a fantastic start as well. All 3 of those have been beaten by Corinthians, so they'll be going into this one full of confidence.
Well, they are, but I wouldn't say they're overconfident. I think Blaine Slattery's, kept the players' sort of level of enthusiasm down, and they know the St Mary's game is going to be tough. At the Bowl, I think that helps them because, it's going back a couple of years ago, but it's near enough the same team. When they played against the Georges in one of the cup finals, the Railway Cup final, they do play the big pitches really well. But, St Mary's are cute and they've got some real gifted players there, and they can sort of get the best out of the other players around them. And when you look at sort of Carl Clark, Brian Crellin, also Connor Birch, they're all good players. And then if you get past the midfield and the back line, you've got Sam Holliday to deal with. So 2 sides littered with real quality players, but Corinthians have just got to take their form that they've got at the moment into that game, take the positives, and hopefully take the points away from St Mary's, and it keeps everything wide open for everyone else, because I think if St Mary's did win it, then it just sort of edges it, I think, a little bit to them, and everyone's looking over the shoulder.
I mean, Corinthians are on a great run of form, and there's lots of talk about how they can make it 7 wins in succession with 3 points tomorrow. But does the focus and all the attention being on Corinthians and that current streak that they're on actually play into St Mary's hands? Because it's a weird one where they're table toppers, they're the home side, but Corinthians have got their tails up, and many will be tipping them to do the business tomorrow.
No, I don't think so, because, as I say, they've been looking at it sensibly. I think wiser heads as well from 2 years ago, where maybe they got a little bit carried away with the way things went for them. But when you're sort of beating teams like sort of Peel, Russian, and, a good result against Laxey, and, Laxey have been high-flying, and credit to them, then it shows that they are playing well. There's sort of 1 or 2 players are going to be missing. Certainly Ryan Burns is still suspended. And I think Blaine will be looking to change things around. But up to now, he's done a terrific job, because those shoes that Danny left behind were big to fill, and he's done it well. And let's just hope that they can step up to it, being a Corinthians fan. But I'm pretty certain the St Mary's faithful and the players there will be looking to take the points away from the Whites to keep their good run going themselves.